Hello and welcome to Take Six. I am streaming executive producer Thomas Mates, filling in for Julie Broughton. It is Valentine's Day, and it's a beautiful day outside in Central Florida. We are gearing up for race weekend at Daytona Beach. We'll have the forecast for that coming up in just a few minutes. Coming up a little later in the show, we're going to be looking at one of our many Hits the Road pieces as we're looking ahead towards next Wednesday when we'll be out broadcasting live in Ormond Beach. Today we're going to be talking with investigative photographer and producer Robert Brewer. He is looking at a program that is helping small businesses to thrive in Ormond Beach. He'll break it down for us how it works and show us one of the success stories of that program. We're also going to be talking with News 6 anchor Lisa Bell in just a moment. It is Black History Month, and today she is, as part of that, our coverage for Black History Month, she is looking at a golf pro who is giving back to his community. He's originally from Pine Hills, and he is helping the kids there plan for their future. But before all of that, it is worth mentioning that in addition to being Valentine's Day, today is also Parade Day in Philadelphia. The Super Bowl champion Eagles are right now in the streets of the city of brotherly love after their 40-22 routing of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is happening right now in Philadelphia. They are winding their way towards the Art Museum, where it is all going to end with a large celebration ceremony. There will be speeches and all sorts of things. So congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles, a city I spent many years in while I was in college. I can tell you it is going to be a mob scene there all day long. Anyways, moving on back to local affairs, as it were. As I mentioned, we'll be speaking with News 6 anchor Lisa Bell. As I said, this month, February, is Black History Month, and as part of our coverage of that, Lisa spoke with a golf pro who is giving back to his community, his hometown, Pine Hills. Lisa, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Happy Valentine's Day, Thomas. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. I was up early, so I only had time to give my wife a quick peck on the cheek before I ran out the door this morning, but we've got plans for later. How about you and your husband?
Were you out buying her gifts?
No. I'll be making her a heart-shaped pizza later, though, as is my tradition.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's one of her favorites. Nice. She likes it with the vodka sauce. I'd make it from scratch, so, it's something.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
I will be taking all three of my boys, my husband and our two sons, out to dinner tonight. So those are our big plans. Yes, and I gave the dog a special treat for breakfast this morning.
Oh, that's great. You got to include the pup.
That's right, of course. There are many times when I love her the most out of everyone else in my family. So
she asks for the least, I'm sure.
Yes.
Scratches, walks, all that.
That's it.
So your story, I got a chance to watch it a little bit earlier. It's a great piece. It is out of Pine Hills, another location that we did a Hits the Road broadcast from. Tell us a little bit more about this event that you were able to take part in and witness, and this is a really big deal for a lot of kids in that community.
So there is a person who is the world long drive champion. Do you know too much about golf? Very much about golf?
Almost nothing.
Okay. So we're talking about, like when you hit the ball off the tee, how far can you hit it? And this person holds multiple records in that category. He was also the first person to hit a golf ball across Niagara Falls, which is a little fun fact. Wow. He also holds the Guinness World Record for golf ball speed. So he is crushing the golf ball. And he grew up right here in Pine Hills. And I found out about him through the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Florida because he actually spent a lot of time in his youth at that very Boys and Girls Club. And he's now working very hard to give back to the community, specifically to kids who are in that club. He actually got his very first job at that Boys and Girls Club, but didn't start golfing until he was in his 20s. And he has had so much success since then. So he recently surprised 25 kids at the Pine Hills Boys and Girls Club, each with a $1,000 ViStar Credit Union savings account. And he's not just giving them money and say, go out and have fun, go on some sort of spending spree. He's partnering with the Boys and Girls Club to teach these kids financial literacy and life skills and perseverance and how to deal with adversity. And so that these kids really know how to handle their money, because that's something that's really not taught to a lot of kids today. And it is so important to learn how to save money, why it's important to save money, how to budget, all of those things. And so he is working with these kids to make that happen. Are we going to be able to show our story right now, or are we
Yeah, I
saving that
have
for
it.
News 6 at
Oh, no,
4?
no, no. We if you tune in to Take 6, you get the story. So
Fantastic.
we
So
have it
let's
ready.
go ahead and we'll see the big surprise.
All right.
Everybody got a seat. Have a seat.
Seated inside
Okay.
Boys and Girls Club in Pine Hills,
Today is going to be a good day for our kids.
25 kids and their parents
If you are a parent, you're probably seeing me for the first time.
are unknowingly about to receive a potentially life-changing gift.
My name is Maurice Allen. I'm originally from Pine Hills, Florida. I'm a professional golfer.
A professional golfer who grew up in this very club
I've been in Pine Hills my whole life. Everything I do is 100% about Pine Hills.
and is determined to make a difference by driving home an important message with his Empower program.
The part of this program is not here to make PGA or LPGA touring professionals. That's not it. What it is about really personal development, life skills, getting these kids to see how to deal with adversity. I mean, when you think about golf is physical chess. So when things don't go the way you want them to go, how do you plan and how do you move around? How do you adapt? How do you maneuver? How do you shift?
And he's not just talking the talk,
We've had a lot of conversations about disappointment, right? One of the big things that's huge in our community is people don't do what they say they're going to do.
he's walking the walk.
There's 25 of you all in the program. So what's going to happen is each and every one of y'all are going to get a $1,000 savings account from VyStar. They're going to set it up for y'all, so each and every one of y'all got a grand.
$1,000, but they won't be able to start chipping away at any of it until they're 21 and learn financial literacy at the club.
Financial literacy is one of the stepping stones that helps to pave the way for success, yet it's one of the things that is so often not taught.
Jamie Merrill heads up the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Florida.
It's things like learning how to have a savings account, manage an account, manage expenses, how to continue to invest.
And for me, it's all about giving those people in this community the opportunity to, number one, be seen, but also give them a level playing field so that their true talents can shine and be part of an amazing part of society.
Lisa Bell, Getting Results, News 6. That's a big deal, right? Can you imagine being, a teenager and someone giving you $1,000? It's a lot of money, and these kids are going to be learning, how to save it, how to plan for it, and start, building toward a very prosperous future. Now, I did also ask him, about the golfing side of things, and he does work with kids a lot on the golf course. There are more than 31,000 people in the PGA, just 255 of them are Black. So he recognizes that and says it's important for these kids to see someone like him being as successful as he is, doing a sport like that. And it really helps him make a strong connection with these kids because they see, another example of someone doing very well in kind of a different sport for a lot of people, especially now, not a ton of young people take up golf. But he's really an inspiration for kids at that club.
Absolutely. And getting that money at that age, it's good probably that they're blocking them off from using that until they're 21. I know when I was that age, I would not responsibly spend $1,000, but not only are they just holding them back from that, but they're also giving them the tools so that when the time comes, they know what to do with that money.
Absolutely. Teaching them about the concept of compound interest and what $1,000 can turn into when, say, they're 40 years old, which I know seems like a lifetime away for them. But, it really can grow into a very large sum of money that can really set them, on a great path and maybe turn into a down payment for a house one day or help them go to school or buy a car or do something along those lines. So it's a great learning opportunity for those kids. And what a great gift, 25 grand. I'd like to get a surprise like that, maybe on Valentine's Day.
Well, you're barking up the wrong tree here, unfortunately. But it's something that my friends and I, we're most of us are like just turning 40 or in our late 30s, and we all kind of bemoan the fact that we didn't get that financial literacy early on, certainly at that high school age. And it's like, oh, thank God I learned Pythagorean's theorem. That's really helping me out day to day with paying my bills and everything. So it's great to see that there are people, trying to instill in these kids now: save, invest, plan for your future.
Absolutely. And they are certainly doing that at the Boys and Girls Club there in Pine Hills, and not just there, but really all across Central Florida in all of the clubs, teaching kids the importance of that financial literacy, literacy in general, math, all of the things. So great opportunity for those kids. And ViStar, I know, has been a big partner for Maurice Allen, but also they do a lot with the Boys and Girls Club throughout the year. So big shout out to them. Spreading the love on this Valentine's Day.
Yes, absolutely. And it's worth mentioning that you work closely with the Boys and Girls Club. You yourself are a recipient of their good graces.
Yes, I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club in Idaho, and I received, it was a life-changing scholarship, a $25,000 scholarship from the Oprah Winfrey Angel Network, which, I talk to kids today, and some of them look at me like, who's Oprah? They're young, I get that. But because of that experience, I then had the opportunity to talk at a Boys and Girls Club annual fundraising event, a gala, and talk about my experience and how, getting that $25,000 scholarship was going to really pay the way for me to get a 4-year college degree. And it was during that very event that a news director at the local CBS affiliate approached me afterwards. She happened to be in the audience and said, "Would you be interested in becoming our weathercaster?" And I tell kids all this time, I said something I should not have said, the first words that popped into my mind, and that was, "I don't know anything about the weather." And she said, "That's okay." And the rest, they say, is history. So I changed my major from, I was actually a finance major. I was a freshman in college, to journalism, and fell in love with it. So, and started my job in my first job ever in Lewiston, Idaho, working part-time.
Yeah. I think
as the weathercaster, making $6.25 an hour.
How far you've come from Lewiston,
right,
Idaho.
Yeah.
And, I'll also just mention that, you also did a very in-depth story on all the programs available at that particular Boys and Girls Club when we did our Hits the Road show out there. They do a lot for those kids and that community, not just financial literacy. They're offering them tutoring, programs in robotics, and
ballet, music, art, you name it. They have something for everyone there, just to pull those kids in, get them interested in something, even gardening, which, as you know, is another thing that's near and dear to my heart. They have a beautiful garden there. And they have, in most clubs, large kitchens where the kids come in and help, prepare snacks and prepare meals. And that in and of itself is a skill, right? As you know, you like to cook.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, oftentimes kids end up at the Boys and Girls Club because they need some supervision. Maybe they're, back in my day, we'd be called latchkey kids. That was kind of my growing up. And so, when you get home and maybe mom and dad are working extra jobs or extra shifts to make some ends meet, having the ability to then, feed yourself and care for yourself is huge for those communities, knowing that they can survive for themselves.
These are safe havens for kids to go after school in the summer, on the weekends. They are free, and they have trained staff, reading coaches, athletic coaches, people who are working with those kids in the clubs every single day. And yes, it then allows their parents to have peace of mind when they're at work, knowing that their kids are not just home alone doing who knows what, but they are in a safe place, getting amazing opportunities. Disney is a big partner with them. They've built that robotics lab there at the Pine Hills Club. That is the Walt Disney World Boys and Girls Club there in Pine Hills. Universal is a big partner with them. They partner with Lockheed Martin, all sorts of organizations and companies in our community to provide just absolutely amazing opportunities. ViStar Credit Union is one of them, to teach these kids amazing life skills so that they can stay in our community and go out and be productive citizens, and that their parents can work and do what they need to do. And like I said, know that their kids are being taken care of, they're being fed, they're being taught amazing skills, they're doing homework with their kids, and preparing them for their next step in life as well.
All right, excellent. Well, it was a great story, Lisa, and you can find more about that Boys and Girls Club on clickorlando.com right now, in addition to Lisa's previous stories there. And you'll be coming up, the story will be airing again this evening.
Tonight, during the 4 o'clock newscast.
The 4 o'clock newscast. All right.
And then again at 6:30 on News 6 Plus.
Yeah, well, there you go. More reason to tune into News 6 Plus. All right,
That's
Lisa,
right.
Thank you so much for your time and for telling us this great story.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be talking with News 6 investigative photojournalist Robert Brewer. He'll be showing us that program in Ormond Beach that is helping to ensure that small businesses are on the right track, not only to succeed, but to grow and flourish. That'll be coming up in just about 2 minutes. Welcome back to Take 6. The time now is 12:47 on this Friday, Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for joining us. We know that in any community, small businesses are the backbone of the economy there, and it can be very difficult, especially in the current state of inflation and with there being supply chain issues. It can be very difficult for small businesses to flourish, let alone grow. To that end, Ormond Beach has a program that is helping to make sure that their small businesses have all the tools they need to make the most of their community. Here's a look at that story from News 6 investigative photojournalist Robert Brewer.
Come in, take a deep breath, and just relax.
Such a calming sound, isn't it?
It is. The tea brings that calming effect, and it really just kind of fit with what an environment I wanted to create here.
What Stephanie Gonter created is the Novel Tea Bookshop. She was joined by local artist and now co-owner Angel Loudon.
This was her studio, gallery, and boutique, and she offered for me to open the book and tea portion here.
So now Gonter had an idea, a space, and a partner. The only question left was,
how can I take it to the next level? Now, we gotta grow.
enter the Kaufman Fast Track program.
The Fast Track program really provides the foundation and the curriculum for small businesses to follow.
Brian Rademacher is the Director of Economic Development in Ormond Beach. He says small businesses are the foundation of the city.
It's important to provide them the tools and the programs they need to grow because they are the backbone of our community. And any big business that you have in your community always started out as a small business.
And Gonter is grateful for the support.
Fast Track really gave me that map to be able to know this is where I want to go.
And now that she's on the right track, let's have some tea, huh?
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers. In Ormond Beach, Robert Brewer, Getting Results, News 6.
We are joined now by the man himself, Robert Brewer, the person you just saw sipping that tea there. Robert, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah,
You're welcome.
Well, it'd be weird if you came out of that and was like, oh, it was terrible tea.
Yeah.
Well, no, thank you so much for joining us. So this is a really great program. How long has this program been around for the people of Ormond Beach, for the small business owners there?
Since about 2021, they had the idea because of the pandemic. The small businesses were hit really hard, and they said we need to do something to try and strengthen them, and they realized how important they were, and so they wanted to do a program, and they picked this Kaufman Fast Track because it's in person. You work with about 15 or so other entrepreneurs. You can meet in sessions and you can ping ideas off each other. It's a 10-week program. And actually, it just started last week, February 8th, and it goes through April. And so they're going to be doing it every year around this time for as the foreseeable future. He said, as long as we possibly can, Rodemaker said. So, yeah, it's a really neat program.
And the guy who's helping to run this, his name again, one more time?
Ryan Rodemacher.
Ryan, he's
the director of economic development in Ormond Beach.
Yes.
And he meets there. He goes there with them to the classes, at least the first one, and he's there for most of it. Because who better to know how to run a small business in Ormond Beach than to the actual director of economic growth himself? So
and he was he was very much the tip of the spear with getting this whole thing going. This was something he had kind of wanted to do for a while. You were telling me.
He was working on something else, and then the mayor went to a meeting with other city mayors and found out about the program. And the mayor came back. The mayor at the time told Brian, and he said, "Yeah, let's do that." And so they got it into the works, and they've done it 3 times now, like 2021, 2022, and 2024. There was like a year off in 2023, and they're just going to keep doing it as often as they can.
And you said
every year.
That they also, in addition to working with the other entrepreneurs, kind of their class, they're also meeting with people who have kind of been there, done that. The entrepreneurs who came before them, small business owners previously who've gone on and maybe since retired even. But that's a resource that keeps giving back. They could continue speaking with these people beyond just the 10-week class, correct?
Yeah, and along with them, I forgot to mention that, along with the people in the class, they have mentors that also are in these classes. And they're from a group called Volusia Flagless Score, and it's a group of like retired business professionals basically, and they work with up and coming small businesses to help provide them the tools they need to succeed. And like she said, you get kind of a roadmap to bringing your business up off the ground. And she said that since taking the class, they've started doing subscription boxes. They're thinking about wholesaling the teas, different ideas that they never would have thought of, or that they wouldn't have thought of this fast. Because they now, within like a couple of years, she's already doing stuff to grow the business that they wouldn't necessarily have done if they hadn't taken this class. And that's the important thing. Learn about what ideas are going to work, learn what ideas aren't, and do it quicker. That's why it's called the Fast Track program.
Yeah, this just gives them the blueprint to succeed. Now, it doesn't necessarily ensure they'll succeed, but it gives them a blueprint, a roadmap, if you will.
Yeah, there's no guarantee you're going to succeed, but you're going to get at least a plan in place by the time you're done with the course. So if you follow that plan, in theory, you've had time to workshop it. It should hopefully help your business grow. So
yes,
it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is very cool. It's great to see that Ormond Beach, Trooper Steve was out with the police chief the other day, and he said, Ormond Beach itself may not be necessarily itself booming, but it is kind of getting elbowed out by the other big cities that are kind of growing up around it. So it's good to see that they are, helping out their small businesses to make sure they're not getting kind of like bullied by bigger businesses, bigger shops that are opening up around the area, making sure that they can be sustainable and maintain.
Yeah, Stephanie Gonter said in general that Ormond Beach is very small business friendly. Even before they knew about this program, they work with them. They really want them to thrive and succeed and stay there in Ormond Beach, like you said, not get elbowed out. And he said that. He said they're the backbone of our community. They line our streets, like the main streets of Granada. You'll see several small businesses like the one I showed in the piece there. But her and her partner Angel have started giving back to the local community too. They've started a nonprofit. They have a studio in the back where artists can come and like work and like learn and use that space that they may not otherwise be able to find a space, like a space where you can do your art and get started. And then they offer classes, they have book clubs, they have all kinds of events and things that they're trying to get the community involved with their little general bookstore for creatives, they call it. because
Yeah.
it's got so much variety there.
Yeah, and it just helps to ensure that the money from the community stays in the community, and it just helps to, as they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. So
Yeah.
it's great to
Yeah.
see that. And Robert, you're going to have a longer version of this story coming up tonight on News 6.
Yep.
Do you know which show you'll be airing in? I believe
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
There we go. You and Lisa. Well, Lisa will be in the 6:30. But thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And this is a great story. I look forward to seeing the full package.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me.
Absolutely. All right, and speaking of Ormond Beach, we will be hitting the road to Ormond Beach coming up next Wednesday on February 19th. Here are all the details coming at your screen right now. We will be at the Grind Gastropub and Kona Tiki Bar from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's at 49 West Granada Boulevard in Ormond Beach. That'll be on February 19th. That's a Wednesday. Come out. All of your favorite News 6 anchors and personalities and all the behind-the-scenes people will be out there putting on a great show for you for the 3 hours between 4 and 7 p.m. We hope to see you there. We hope to be able to say hi and get to hear from you and find out what's important to you about your community. Again, that's coming up on February 19th. All right, before we get going, we do want to, that is not the right super, sorry about that. Before we get going, we do want to get a check on the forecast. We are a little...
I'm News 6 Chief
whoa.
Meteorologist Candace Campos. Thank you for heading on to clickorlando.com and our Pinpoint Weather app. It's going to be cooler. Might I say even pleasant for your Valentine's Day on this Friday, all thanks to a cold front that brought some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms on Thursday. Then we are going to see the rain chances return, especially as we head into Sunday, all in time for, unfortunately, the Daytona 500. There is some good news as the front looks to be lagging just a bit, so the rain might not last the entire race. And then as we head into President's Day on Monday, that cold front that's bringing us the rain on Sunday expected to drop temperatures with highs back into the 60s. So as we take you here hour by hour, so you can kind of plan out your Valentine's Day, temperatures are going to be back into those mid 70s. By the way, this is our first typically average day for the month of February, as temperatures have been above average in those mid 80s until then. And as we look at these lows for tonight, another mild evening, temperatures in the upper 60s, pretty much area wide under those mostly cloudy skies. But as you notice here on the satellite and radar composite, we have that cold front that is bringing in those nice conditions for your Friday. But then we turn our eyes all the way to the west coast of the country, which is actually producing a lot of snow and rain across the Rockies. This is our next system that will be continuing to push through Central Florida on Sunday. In the meantime, though, we can't rule out the chance of an isolated shower or two, especially along our coastline, as we still have enough moisture to play with in the atmosphere. Then as we head into your Saturday, expect a lot more sunshine. Temperatures will start heating up all ahead of that approaching cold front by about the lunchtime hour there across areas of Gainesville. So kind of widening out the view. The timing of this front once again looks to approach the area by about 4, 5 o'clock. So Daytona 500 starting around 2:30. It looks like some of that rain might actually hold off till maybe a possible rain delay towards the end of the race. So hopefully if that system continues to lag a little slower, maybe we will actually come out relatively dry for the race. We'll have to watch and see. But behind that cold front, much cooler air, and that's going to set up for a really nice setup for your President's Day with temperatures staying in the 60s.
All right, that was Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. As I was about to say before the package started unexpectedly, we are a little shy on meteorologists today. Michelle Morgan and David Nazario will be in this evening covering for Julie and Jonathan Kegas, but Candace was nice enough to record that forecast for us before heading out for the day. Today is her daughter's birthday, and so we wish her daughter a very happy birthday. And to all of you, we wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for joining us here on Take 6. We'll be back on News 6 at 4, and we hope we will see you there. We'll have all your weather and headlines for the day. Thank you so much for watching, and have a pleasant day.